whatever you do, there are a million videos out there, but this is the one you have to pay attention to. This is the one that may just save your life. Today's video is, like I said, going to be the most important one that you ever watch, guys, because this is the one that could save your life if your life became a horror movie. I've decided to give you guys my 10 tips for how to survive a horror film. You really need to pay attention. You never know when something could go terribly awry in your life, and this information that I have in this notebook right here, it could save you. Was that dramatic enough? I should be an actress. Okay, number 1, put the creepy thing down. Guys, there are so many horror films out there where people, you know, find a book that's bound in human skin and written in what looks like blood, and they decide to try to read from it. Or there's this mystical puzzle box that everybody seems to die when they have it. Let's play around with that. A Ouija board in a haunted house. Oh yeah, that sounds fun. What I'm trying to say is if it's apparently cursed or haunted or leads to deaths or something like that, just don't mess around with it, okay? Don't mess around with it. These things might not be real, but do you really want to find out the hard way? We're talking about everything from The Exorcist to The Evil Dead to Ouija, Hellraiser. There are a million horror movies examples out there that should illustrate to you that if something is super creepy and haunted and cursed, you probably shouldn't mess around with it. Number 2, location, location, location. Guys, if you are going on holiday, maybe try to go somewhere where you have some form of help or support system in place. There are 2 issues with locations that often crop up in horror films. The first is an incredibly remote location. If you are stuck in some incredibly remote cabin in the middle of the woods where your cell phone doesn't have signal, where there's no landlines, where there's no help, where everybody is miles away, you can't get the police, you can't get anyone, you can't scream for help, you're on your own, deserted in the middle of nowhere, you're kind of asking for it. Examples, again, would be things like Cabin in the Woods, Evil Dead, The Shining, The Strangers. There are so many examples of when you're in an incredibly remote location that can go wrong. So maybe when you're choosing your holiday spots, try to find somewhere that has at least one form of communication for help or somebody nearby that you can get hold of. You can still do romantic Cabin in the Woods, but maybe not just so far out in the wilderness. Just an idea. The second problem with locations is when they are haunted. Guys, don't move into the house where the slaughter happened or the cult, you know, happened, or where people keep mysteriously disappearing or that it is legendarily haunted or something. If you're there and things start happening, stuff starts moving, you hear voices, start having terrible nightmares, sleepwalking, all the usual signs, run. Get your stuff together and get out, okay? Get out. Because you're gonna die. Again, everything we're talking about from The House on Haunted Hill, American Horror Story, Blair Witch Project, it's not so much a literal house but a location in a forest, so it kind of doubles up because it's a cursed location and a remote location. If things are getting really creepy and weird, just get the hell out of there, okay? Me and my friend always joke about how we would survive in a horror movie because we would be like there 5 minutes. We would hear the whispering of our names. Marie, join us, or something. Something would move, some shit, and we'd be gone. We'd be like, nope. We'd pack our bags and we'd leave. And we would come back the next day to check on our friends, and they'd all be dead. I'm just saying, common sense here, people. Number 3, comfortable shoes are a must. If you're going to be running around away from psycho killers, from ghosts, from poltergeists, from demons, whatever, running is going to be involved at some point in that scenario. And if you're in high heels, ooh, you're going to end up with a broken ankle. If you happen to end up in a situation where you're in heels when this happens, because it could happen, you could be out to dinner on a date or something, or, you know, at a special event, a birthday, and you're in heels, for the love of God, take them off and just run bare feet. I don't care if you end up with your feet sliced up John McClane style. Run in your bare feet, because you're never outrunning a serial killer in a pair of 6-inch Louboutins. That's all I'm saying, okay? On the same note, guys, I'm going to take a little leaf out of the Zombieland book here, and we're going to say cardio. Cardio is important. If you can't run the length of yourself, you're not going to get away. Keep it in mind. And the last thing to do with running is, oh my God, watch where you're running. I, even as a child, got incredibly frustrated when I was watching horror films and it was always a girl and she would run 5 feet and trip over this and then she'd run another couple of feet and she'd do that. You're panicked. I get it. There's a guy behind you who is wielding an axe or a machete or whatever. It's scary. You've just seen your friends murdered. But watch where you're going. Because if you fall flat in your face, you're just fodder. You're part of the body count. Think about it. Number 4, maintain your car. There are a lot of movies and scenarios where people ended up with their car running out of petrol, having something wrong with the engine. It dies in the middle of nowhere and whoa, yeah, this is not the place that you want to end up. Things like breakdown, misery, dead end. You need to maintain your car and you need to drive safely. Misery is a good one for if it's snowing, drive carefully, people. You don't want to crash your car and just happen to do it near a bunch of mutants or a serial killer or a psycho fan, whatever the case might be. Car maintenance, drive safely. Both of those things are important. Number 5, don't split up. Don't do it. This is a classic one which has been parodied in films like Scream and Cabin in the Woods. The second somebody suggests that, you know they're going to die. The person who says, let's split up, they're going to die. Stick together in a group, because at least if one of you gets attacked, the others can somehow help. Stay together. You're stronger as a group of people. On the same note, don't go off by yourself to investigate something. Did you hear a creepy noise? Did something move? Was there footsteps upstairs? Don't go and investigate by yourself. No, no, no. No, no, no. You're now body count. Don't do it. Number 6. And this is a bad one, guys. I'm sorry, but no hanky-panky. We've learned from classic horror films that if you have sex, get naked, do naughty things like that, you're gonna die. Usually the survivor is the most innocent, not necessarily a complete virgin, but the most innocent of the party, the classic final girl. One of the most classic examples of this is Halloween, where we have our main character surviving because she's so innocent and virginal, and her friend, who has sex in the film, well, yeah, she doesn't fare so well. Other examples are things like It Follows, and one of my favourite examples of this is Final Girls, which is a horror comedy I can't recommend enough, and they parody this particular trait where they have the slutty character whose sole role is to do striptease, and then the killer comes to get her. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, and if your friends start indulging, just be like, no, control yourself. Number 7, never assume the killer is dead. Something else that's parodied by Scream. If the bad guy has been shot or stabbed and is lying there prone on the floor with blood pooling, don't assume he's dead. Don't slowly make your way over there and poke him and make sure. No, don't run away and be like, oh phew, it's over. No, you go up and you make sure. And don't try to find a pulse. Just stab that guy a bunch of times or shoot him or whatever. Do that Scream style. Just shoot him straight in the head, because he's going to get back up again. This is how horror movies work, okay? You're going to think you're safe. You're going to be, oh, thank goodness. And in the background, the audience will see this blurry figure sitting up and slowly making their way towards you, knife in hand. Think about it. Next up, heed warnings. Every film that's worth its salt has some kind of a warning about it. There's something going on at the location. Something happened there, something scary. There's a redneck at the petrol station you guys stop at on your way to the remote cabin that tells you there's something wrong up there. People die. You shouldn't go. If one of your party starts to seem a wee bit, ooh, crazy, we have to leave, there's something wrong here, and they're acting all weird, listen to them, okay? You see the warnings, you hear the warnings, heed them. Because the people in horror movies who are dismissive of the crazy redneck and his ominous ominous predictions, or the friend in the party who seems to be going a bit nuts, they're the ones that end up dead. I'm just saying. Think about, when you're talking about the crazy character, we're thinking along the lines of Rosemary's Baby or Hereditary. Those characters seem to be kind of unhinged, but they were right. Listen to them, people. Last up, don't test urban legends. If there's some kind of urban legend that says if you say a person's name in the mirror 3 times, if you knock on this door and say a magic word, if you blow that candle out, if you do whatever, don't do it, okay? Don't light the black flame candle. Don't summon Candyman or Bloody Mary. These things, it's just not worth it, okay? I'm not sure if there's anything out there. I'm not sure if there's such a thing as demons or ghosts or crazy, creepy monsters and bad guys. Who the hell knows? There are parts of this world that we have no idea about. And my advice would be don't F with it, just in case. See? And that's it, guys. That is my list on how to survive a horror movie. I hope you find it useful. If you have any advice for anybody out there who might end up finding themselves in a horror film, please put it down below. Like I said, this information is important. It could be life-saving. And that's me. Stay safe. Stay safe from all sorts of horror and in general. And I will be seeing you soon. Bye.